Welcome back to Football Overload, the channel where we analyze football games, look at them from a tactical point of view, see how chances were created and how they could have been prevented. In today's video, we are going to look at the Champions League game between Real Madrid and Manchester City. Very interesting game and very entertaining to watch, also from a tactical point of view, with Real Madrid as a clear winner and with a dominant performance. At the beginning of the first Real Madrid goal, Real Madrid is in possession of the ball and is choosing a little bit an unusual structure. The four defenders are very spread out and the two holding sixes are very, very low. The only player in the midfield, Jude Bellingham, is receiving the ball from Tchouaméni. Between the lines, there are almost no players except for Rodrigo, who is coming inside from the wing to leave a little bit more space right here for Valverde to attack if he moves forward. Vinicius Jr. is very spread out on the wing, as we know, and Jude Bellingham, because of the pressure of the four City players around him, has no option other than to play back to Asensio. Manchester City, on the other hand, is choosing to defend in a 4-4-2 structure, which is pretty usual. I like that the distances between the two lines are very narrow, and also the distances between the wingers and the fullbacks are close, so there is not a lot of space between the lines for Real Madrid to play in. They much rather want them to play on the side, where then they can go and press. Asensio gets the ball from Bellingham and sees that Kylian Mbappé is making a run in behind the defense of Manchester City. The two center-backs, Ruben Dias and John Stones, are doing very well in reading the situation and dropping deep, even though the ball hasn't been played yet. Still, Asensio manages to play the ball in behind the center-backs for Kylian Mbappé into the space where, of course, he is very strong. Ruben Dias is trying to play the long ball with his head, but is unable to reach it, and that's why Mbappé is finding himself on the edge of the box in front of Ederson. Now Ederson tried to reach the ball before Mbappé, but realized on his way that he will be too late to reach the ball. That's why he is in a bad positioning right now, and Kylian Mbappé is seeing this. John Stones was not fast enough to get into the duel with Mbappé, who is now able to chip the ball over Ederson into the back of the net. This finish, for me, outstanding. Now, there's not a lot you can analyze in a situation like this because it's a simple long ball behind the defense. In my opinion, the center-backs of Manchester City did a good job in realizing the situation, but it's just that Ruben Dias maybe misinterpreted the trajectory of the ball and fails to touch it, so that Mbappé gets an easy finish and Ederson is off his line. The second Real Madrid goal really shows how good they played against Manchester City. Vinicius Jr. and Mbappé are both making runs in behind Manchester City's defense once again. Of course, they will need to follow, and what this leads to is a lot of space between the lines opening up for Jude Bellingham, who finds himself in a great position. Valverde plays the ball to Bellingham, who is then able to turn because Ake is hesitating to step out of this position and put pressure on Bellingham, because then another space in his back would be opening up, and the 2 against 2 situation right here is not favorable for Manchester City. As I said before, Bellingham is able to turn and finds Vinicius Junior in the space where he is running into. What now is interesting is the run from Rodrigo, because he sees that there is a gap opening up between the defenders of Manchester City, and nobody of the City players, Gonzalez, Ake or Guardiola, will be able to follow his run, as they are only focused on the ball. I think the behavior of Ake and Guardiola is not very good in the moment, because with one pass they are out of the play and leaving their other two defenders in a 3 against 2 situation in the last third. Vinicius Junior finds Rodrigo on the edge of the box, who then is in a 2 against 1 situation with Mbappe against Kujanov. What I like about Mbappe's run is he first went out wide to then come back in and attack the space now between, not between, but behind Kujanov's back. Rodrigo on the ball has now the choice to cut inside or play a strong pass into the run of Mbappe, who can then go on and with his first touch find himself in front of Ederson. Guardiola is trying to save City with a sliding tackle, but Mbappe realizes the situation and with a fake shot comes inside onto his strong foot, leaves Guardiola on the floor and finishes then with a brilliant shot into the back of the net and leaves Real Madrid 2-0 up in this game. The third Real Madrid goal is really surprising to me, and I think that's the goal where Pep Guardiola is really gonna be unhappy with his team. Because Real Madrid is not making a huge effort to score, but the mentality of City to defend their goal is really not there in this situation. They might have already given up. Guardiola is out of his position in the middle between Ruben Diaz and Kujanov. Don't get me wrong, this can happen, but when this happens, try to get back into your position as quick as possible. Then there are 5 players of Manchester City defending against nobody. Real Madrid is not making an effort to score right now, as you can see on the body language of Ceballos. They are trying to stay calm and stay in possession of the ball. Real Madrid is finding Kylian Mbappe on the wing with 2 passes. On the other hand, Guardiola is still not in his position, but this right now is still not a problem because Manchester City is outnumbering Real Madrid right here in this zone heavily with an 8 against 3. So normally there is no way a goal should happen right now. Foden, who is not the best defender, is in a 1 against 1 against Kylian Mbappe, which is surprising to me. Again, 3 defenders right here are covering absolutely nobody. They are not man marking, they are just defending the space. What I would like to see is Ake helping Foden and closing the space if Mbappe is deciding to go inside, and tell Foden to cover Mbappe's right foot. Or the other way around, Ake is covering Mbappe's right foot and Foden doesn't let Mbappe come inside onto his left foot. But none of this is happening. Instead, Mbappe with an easy acceleration is coming inside onto his left foot and is able to get a shot away on the edge of the box and finds Ederson on the second post and is putting up Real Madrid 3-0, completely finishes the game if it wasn't finished already before, and Mbappe probably with the easiest hat-trick in a Champions League game of his life. That's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you have a different opinion on certain situations, let me know in the comments. I will be happy to discuss. And leave me a note what game I should analyze next, and I will see you in the next video.